Well, pleasant good afternoon, friends, and welcome to another edition of St. Edward's Hilltopper Baseball live here this afternoon. I'm Rob Hipp, joined again by Joshua Harris. We appreciate you joining us here as the St. Edward's Hilltoppers yesterday took Northeastern 2 games, and those, we had the first game and then the second game, of course, and today looking for that sweep. But a great job. And, man, you talk about a game one where SEU scored 4. Talking about St. Edward's, the Northeastern State University, Riverhawks scoring 1 run. Man, though, but for the Hilltoppers, it was a game of Ryan McPhail yesterday. The senior leadership coming out huge for these Hilltoppers. And we talked to Coach a little bit earlier about his play, as well as the freshman pitcher who took the mound in game number 2. Or he was in game 1 as well, beg your pardon, but in game 1 as well, the freshman comes out, Koehler. We did have a few moments to catch up with head coach of the St. Edward's University Hilltoppers earlier before we got started. That interview with head coach Rob Pender. Stand by, and we'll let you enjoy that. Rob Hipp here, pregame with Coach Rob Penders. Coach, a great opening yesterday, defeating Northeastern State in those first 2 games. Man, your senior leadership with Ryan McPhail, 5 RBIs, touched 9 total bases, averaged 667, 3 runs total for him. Talk about the play of your senior leadership and how happy you were with the start of this early season.
Yeah, like I told the guys after yesterday, that was probably the best first day we've ever put in since my 13 years here. So that's encouraging, and it speaks a lot to what you talked about. We had enough senior leadership, and Ryan got us going yesterday with the home run, kind of alleviated a little stress of just getting the first score out of the way, and then the offense kind of flowed from there. It was good to see.
Koehler Vandemate, your freshman. We talked yesterday about a lot of freshmen coming in and the young core of this team. You have to be impressed with his play on the mound as well.
He was outstanding, and we had a couple other guys do the same thing yesterday as freshmen, and that's always encouraging to see when everybody kind of does their job and they're not fazed by the environment. That's a big part of it, and that was when you have freshmen that are going to be contributors, you kind of have to get that first one out of the way. And Koehler and the 2 guys that played significantly during the day yesterday, and then at the end we finished with another freshman in the first game. So our second game, I'm sorry. So it's outstanding to see and something that we can hopefully build on.
Coach, final question here today. Looking for the sweep, of course, but a little overcast again today. Maybe the weather conditions not as bad as yesterday. Talk about any type of adjustments that you may have to make depending on weather on a day like today, Coach.
It's just a little wet in the outfield. We had the tarp on last night, so the infield should play well. The outfield, balls like today, you hit a line drive, it's going to skip as opposed to hop. So outfielders have to really be making sure they're getting over on ground balls and backing each other up, and the hitters have to just make sure that if they do hit the ball, they'll be looking for the next base, because it's going to be tough to pick up a ball and throw it in from the outfield today.
Well, Coach, once again, we appreciate your accessibility. Good luck on the game today, Coach.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Well, once again, we appreciate the accessibility of head coach for St. Edward's, Rob Penders. And Joshua, we had a great time yesterday, and my mistake, I thought we were really going to be on the air for one, but we went ahead and did both those games. I know you had to leave a little bit early, but again, appreciate you being here again today, my friend, and excited to bring another edition here. It's opening weekend for St. Edward's University in NCAA Division II. Excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you again for the opportunity, and I hated to, especially with the way the Hilltoppers played in that second game, that would have been a fun ball game to be a part of, but I did have to go and watch my son play basketball. But thanks for having me back today, and it's a good field today. The rain is not falling right now, so that's always good, and looking forward to the St. Edward's Hilltoppers closing out this first series with a victory today.
Yeah, a little overcast conditions here in Austin, Texas this morning under fog mist, 62 degrees. The humidity very balmy at 90%. Those winds southeast at 6 miles an hour. But right now things really looking pretty airless, if you will, outside. Yesterday we had winds that were blowing around 5 miles an hour. Not too much of a problem, but as you heard in that interview with Coach Penders, the biggest issue is going to be just the wetness of the field out there. He talked about a lot of those balls. You're not going to see them hop. They're going to slide and skip a little bit more. So you just got to protect the ball when you're out there on the defensive end. And on the offensive end, hey, just try to continue doing what you did yesterday. As we looked at the first game from yesterday, a score that was 4-1. We talked about Ryan McPhail earlier opening the scoring in the bottom of the third. He also had a home run, remember, to get things rolling for the Hilltoppers, putting them up 1-0 after that. Northeastern State, though, they responded, tying the game 1-1 in the fourth. They had a sac fly to center field, but SEU quickly got back to work in that bottom half, and they just did damage as expected, and nothing to put down on Northeastern State University coming all the way from Oklahoma. And again, for those of you that are watching this afternoon from Oklahoma and abroad, for not just St. Edwards, but for our friends at Northeastern State University, we want to welcome you into the broadcast as well. It's our true honor and privilege to be able to bring you this coverage here today. As we continue to look down, though, you talk about another player, Matthew Jimenez. He reached on an error, the junior. He came out, did some opportunities as well, reaching at scoring position. McPhail, though, with 2 more outs. And my goodness, just an outstanding, great afternoon for both teams. And we got to talk about this, too. We talked to Coach, but Koehler Vandement, the freshman, at one point he comes in. I believe he took out 6 in a row. That was an amazing opportunity for the freshmen to get in, to get some playing time. You've got 26 returners this year, but a lot of freshmen that are entering here, so it's kind of a new season. But the Hilltoppers, well, it is a new season, of course, but the Hilltoppers really looking to continue chasing that Heartland Conference as they've done for 6 years now on their 7th consecutive year of trying to win that Heartland Conference championship. That is simply, Josh, unbelievable.
Yeah, it was absolutely great to hear the coach even is so excited about, he told us yesterday when we asked him what's the key to the day, he said score more runs. But then today when you interviewed him, he said that was the best start that we've had. And so what a great first opening day for great first opening day for the Hilltoppers. And I know that they're looking to just continue their winning ways today. And it's good to have some numbers on these guys. And you're right, those freshmen stepped up yesterday. That freshman pitcher came out and was not intimidated at all. And I think it was actually, you were right, 6, but I think it was 7 in a row he got out. And that's just a phenomenal start for that young man.
Well, we talked about game 1, looking at game 2 from yesterday. The Hilltoppers, they picked up right where they left off. This was a domination from St. Edwards University, 11-0. Ryan Hill impressive on the mound early. He struck out 4 of the first 6 batters. SEU just continued. The first game was 7 innings. The next game's supposed to go to 9 unless you get to the 10-run rule. Well, they hit the 10-run rule there in the 7th and were able to close this one out. But Ryan Hill, wow, on the mound. Nobody could stop him, just allowing 2 hits in 6 innings. He had 10 strikeouts on the offensive end. Mackin, Vasquez, and McPhail, each with 2 hits, while McPhail led with those 3 RBIs. We mentioned earlier McPhail, though, totaling for both games, 5 RBIs, 9 bases touched, a .667 average, and 3 runs. If we can see some more of that today, Josh, we're going to have fun.
What a game to be a part of. As I was heading out and listening and watching, I was like, wow. I mean, it was just run after run. So I know you had a good time calling that big victory to close out day 1, and I know that we're in for an exciting baseball game today. Watching them warm up, the field is slick out there and wet. They're going to have to watch each other's back. And we're in for a good baseball game. No win whatsoever. Those flags are absolutely still. So we should see that ball rise pretty good today.